Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll try and be brief. The honourable members who have spoken before me, Mr. Speaker, have highlighted very clearly the importance of the Office of the Auditor-General, which is an independent institution that provides external oversight on financial management and good governance. Mr. Speaker, in any democracy, in any parliament, the importance of the Auditor General's report and the importance of the role of the Public Accounts Committee cannot be underscored or cannot be underestimated, Mr. Speaker, in terms of ensuring that there is accountability. Because as a government, we should always be mindful, and we, on this side of the House, as a new government, Mr. Speaker, we want to ensure that every dollar that comes into the coffers of government is accounted for, there is value for money, and that we should try and put all our effort in ensuring that it is not wasted, it is prioritized, and that the people eventually benefit from it. I'm of course not saying, Mr. Speaker, that pilferage, wastage, mismanagement can never happen. And that is why it is important that the Auditor General's office is well resourced, because the Auditor General's office, Mr. Speaker, gives that framework. It provides an opportunity not only for those who manage funds, but also those who want accountability to actually work together. And the Auditor General's report, Mr. Speaker, whenever it comes out, does provide a certain degree of excitement, certain degree of scrutiny, and that it, and therefore it is a constitutional body. The other day, Mr. Speaker, I had the Honourable Biman Napoto last week. He gave a end-of-week statement, and he talked about institutional integrity. In fact, I agree with him wholeheartedly. Whatever he said. But, Mr. Speaker, we always have to remember history. I know Honourable Usemate was talking about hypocrisy, but when I hear them talk about institutional integrity, talk about what happened, I think we sitting in the opposition, Mr. Speaker, we're contemplating. We were actually learning not what they were doing right, but learning what they were doing wrong. And so I feel that it's always good when you sit in the opposition and come into government, you actually understand and learn. And that is why we always talked about the importance of the role of the opposition. And I hope the honourable members on the other side and those new members would learn and would understand the importance of what they say from the other side, with respect to government accountability. So the Office of the Auditor General, Mr. Speaker, came under attack in this Parliament by the previous government. A massive attack, not just a side jab, a massive attack. And governments never do that. Governments have a process. When you start attacking an independent institution in Parliament, then, Mr. Speaker, you reduce the importance of that institution, and they did that. So I wanted to just remind Honorable Napoto that next time when he talks about institutional integrity, he should remember, what his colleagues on the other side did. So, Mr. Speaker, there are a lot more that I can say about wastage, about not following this, Financial Management Act, not following procurement regulations, and you, Mr. Speaker, know very well we were raising some of these issues with evidence in Parliament. I know the Honourable Leader of the Opposition. I was actually quite amazed that he was attacking the Deputy Prime Minister for attending the least developed countries conference, organized by the UN at their invitation. And I thought, he should have been thanking Fiji and thanking the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister for making a high-level. Mr. Speaker, I am actually amazed at the hypocrisy that comes from Honourable Usimate. He should learn, Mr. Speaker, to understand some of the pain that you need to go through when you sit in opposition, and he will grow into, Mr. Speaker, he will grow into a better opposition member if he's able to take a little bit of pain.
He's seen the light,
and not. I think he's seeing the light, Mr. Speaker. I think he's seeing the light, Mr. Speaker, and very soon. I mean, you can't use the word hypocrite in this Parliament, but I'm saying that Honourable Usumate, just relax. You will learn in the course of time, and you have to spend some time in the opposition. Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to point out that the government acknowledges, as part of the recommendation 1, the need to obtain a quality draft financial statement on a timely basis, as this area needs improvement. Ministry of Finance, we already had a good meeting with the Acting Auditor-General, their staff. We are looking at the review of the Audit Act, Mr. Speaker. Just, from learning from the experience of what we had, what we know, how the Auditor-General was attacked, we want to look at the Audit Act and ensure that the Audit Act, provides, safeguards, gives more teeth to the Auditor-General's office, not only in terms of resources, so that, they can work effectively to hold ministries and departments accountable. So we are working with the OAG, ministries, departments, agencies, and we feel that there is a lot more that can be done around that area. I know the Honourable Minister for Housing, Honourable Minister actually gave a very good account of what's happening within the municipal councils, area where we were concerned. The training plan agreed. Mr. Speaker, the Office of the Auditor-General, there was this concern that they were not having these exit plans. I mean, these are normal audit processes, Mr. Speaker, that the Auditor-General, office, conducts. And, as a government, Mr. Speaker, we must stay away from dictating to independent officers, even if we feel that there are problems. There are ways in which those officers may not do the work. So the Auditor-Generals must be left as an independent institution. The government's job is to make sure, the Parliament's job is to make sure that we provide the appropriate resources, provide the appropriate legislative framework, so that they can work effectively. So, Mr. Speaker, we are determined to ensure that the Auditor-General's office remains an independent office, well-resourced, and one that can work with all government departments, entities and bodies, and make sure that we have timely, properly audited reports presented to Parliament, so the Parliament, Mr. Speaker, can scrutinize that and the public can know what's happening to their dollars and cents. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.